Today I want to talk about Creed Humphrey and how he takes such pride in being from the state of Oklahoma and playing center for Oklahoma, and all that's coming up after the bumper.
What do you mean you don't subscribe to my son's YouTube channel?
Mama, no!
Just snap the damn ball, RJ.
What's up, kid folk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always OU related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time, and today I want to talk about Creed Humphrey. More to the point, I want you to hear Creed Humphrey talk about himself, and we're going to do that right now.
You talk a little bit about being a leader in the spring and not being able to be on the field. You talk a little about the role you had with those younger guys trying to get them ready.
Yeah, so, this whole spring I was out there, just I'd be watching in the background, seeing, how the defense is reacting and stuff, how the offensive line's reacting. And if they ever had questions, they'd come up to me and ask, and I'd help them out. I'd always be trying to get them, fired up and stuff during practice, like, getting in the huddle with them, getting them pumped up and stuff, just, trying to get the energy levels up and everything. And then just anytime they'd want to watch film and stuff, I was always around to, help them out with film and things anytime.
Did you have a chance to be the top center in the country this year?
It's not, really my decision. That's more the media's decision and stuff. But,
So-
I feel like.
So what are your goals then for the season?
Yeah, for the season, I would like to win the Remington, the Allen's trophy that I'd like to win, But above all that, the main goal, is the national championship, and then also the Joe Moore Award. As an offensive lineman, I don't think there's really an award that's as big as the Joe Moore Award because it shows that, all five guys are playing at such an elite level, and we have such a good chemistry that it makes us the best offensive line in the country.
Do you have the best offensive line coach in the country?
Yeah, I think we do. Coach
And
B's
that's a pretty credible case, right? Best offensive line in the country last year?
Yeah, Coach B is such a great coach. The mentality that he brings along, the intensity that he brings. It really just keeps everybody so excited and motivated to improve.
So, lose 4 starters. Where is your group on the path towards reaching that goal of being the top offensive line in the country, which is a standard that y'all set last year?
Yeah, I think we're on a good path right now. Everybody's, been extremely motivated this summer. Everybody's, fired up to really get to show what they can do, We've recruited very well in offensive line, so.
And you develop well, too.
Yeah, and we also develop very well. So, I think we're on a good path right now. There's still some things that we need to fix and everything, but.
And what kind of stuff? Anything you can share?
No, not right now. We're good.
What's the hardest part of the transition? You lose 4 guys like that. What's the hardest part about getting that cohesive group again next year?
Just being around everybody all the time. Just like this past group was. We were always together. We were always doing things with each other. So it's just finding schedules to fit that to how we can be the same way.
What do you feel like is the strength of the overall group, the offensive line?
Like, what was that?
Just the overall strength as far as what you guys bring to the table. Obviously, last year was experience. So what maybe is the strength this year?
Just the chance to prove people wrong is something that everybody's so motivated about doing. Everybody's so physically talented in this group. I think honestly, I think this group has a chance to be just as good if not better as last year's group. So just from a physical standpoint.
Who are those 4 guys? Who are they going to be by position?
We don't have 4 guys yet. It's just open competition for everywhere. Yeah.
And so, horns down. I know, big controversy. When was the last time you did horns down?
After we won the conference championship game.
Seems like a good time.
Yeah.
An appropriate time, right?
Yeah.
So what times is horns down for? What times? What moments? What times? What places?
I don't really know. I can't really do it on the field anymore. So.
Yeah. But when you beat Texas.
Yeah. I don't really know. There's not really a specific time or instance for it.
Do you know the first time you ever did it?
Yeah. Very young. I don't even remember because I was so young.
So it's been something that you've done.
Yeah, it's been around my whole life. I've grown up being an OU fan my entire life. I grew up 40 minutes from Norman, so ever since I can remember, I've always been an OU fan.
Do you feel like it's important from a sportsmanship standpoint not to do that during games, like after a play, after a touchdown?
Really, I have no opinion on it.
Okay. Thank you.
Neville was
talking about kind of you guys like to match up in practice and in those battles. What was it like to battle with Neville? How much better is it?
Yeah, me and Neville are always looking forward to doing that in practice, just because of, it makes me and him so much better. We have these two good players going at it, trying to beat each other every single play. And that just improves our game so much. I always think, if the practice week's harder, it's hard enough, it makes the games easier. So getting to go against a guy at Neville's caliber, it makes things really easy.
He also says that competition sort of extends into the weight room.
Yeah.
You guys are among the strongest guys on the team.
Yeah.
What is it like sort of having those moments that sometimes we see videos tweeted out of all you guys gathering around a particular set? What makes you guys do something?
Just trying to prove each other that, I'm stronger than you, or you're stronger than me. Just like friendly competition stuff,
Creed, how is Michael Thompson doing among the other guys on the offensive line? I know this was a late move for him.
Yeah, he's fitting in well. He came in, he had a pretty good spring, and he's known a lot of guys on the offensive line for a while now, and he's fitting very well.
How would you judge his feet and his hands coming from a different style of defense or a different style of line play?
Yeah.
Going from defensive to offensive.
He's got really good feet and hands, for being on the D-line. I know he was, recruited out of high school by a lot of teams as an offensive lineman anyways. I know he was a touted offensive lineman from then, so I'm not really too surprised that he had good footwork, he had good hand usage and stuff like that.
About your hands and your feet, those are two things that jump out on film when you talk about you. Resetting your hands. How did you get so quick and so fast at getting your hands back on a guy after they do their karate move to chop him down?
Yeah, it's just something that takes so much drilling. You kind of got to drill into your mind and make it a pattern. As soon as you feel that, you got to replace it. And it's really nothing but just drilling it constantly, just trying to work it.
So that's interior line play. Now I'm talking about center. You're responsible for so much up there. Was there a learning curve, and there's one that we just overlook when we're talking about centers, and how much you're responsible from the pre-snap reads?
Yeah, that's something I struggled with in my first year here. So that redshirt year really helped me a lot, being able to figure all this stuff out. I wasn't ever really on the scout team, even for that redshirt year. I was up there, with the traveling guys and everything, learning game plans and stuff. So just doing that, it made me so much more comfortable going into the second year, and I think it really helped my game out mentally.
Creed, after having Baker and then Kyler, some people are saying this year there's going to be a dip in offense, but what do you have to say to that, to kind of naysay that?
I knew people were going to say it and stuff. It doesn't really bother me. We're this offense, our mentality is built on proving people wrong, no matter what. So it's just something we get to do is just prove people wrong.
What have you seen from Jalen? I mean, he's new to the system, but comes in with experience. What have you seen from him that's working well with this program so far?
Yeah, Jalen's experience, obviously playing in games, and then, he's a leader, so this competition with him, Spencer and Tanner this fall camp is going to be great, because they all bring so many different things to the table.
After every game last season, Neville was kind of consistently graded as one of the league's top defensive players. Is there something he does as an interior defensive lineman that might get overlooked, but that you notice having gone against him several times?
Yeah, Neville's just such a freak athlete, So anytime I watch him, the weight room and stuff, and we're doing different running drills and stuff, I'm always blown away by just that someone that athletic and that strong is playing, So physically, he's one of the most dominant guys I've ever gone against as far as physical attributes.
Where do you feel you guys are? It's early, but not early. Where do you feel you guys are as far as well-rounded goes between defensive and offensive coming in this year? I mean, your preseason favorites yet again, but how do you assess this year coming in maybe versus the last two?
I think we're kind of in the same positions we were last year. People were doubting us because Baker was gone after last year, So, I feel like we're in the same position, and we're excited for the chance,
How about Bray Walker and Daryl Simpson are a couple guys that we didn't get to see a whole lot of because they took the redshirt year, not unlike you. How would you assess how they've grown over the last year?
Yeah, but all these guys have grown so much mentally, since sitting back. They're sitting behind 4 NFL guys, so they're basically those are their mentors, just like they were for me, and they've taught all of us so much, and it's going to help them out so much.
Did you ever feel the pressure playing with four, I mean, not just NFL guys, they're all drafted in the first 4 rounds.
Yeah.
All right, so, I mean, how do you compartmentalize?
That's something going into last season, I felt like it was, when I got that spot, that's the next thing. I was like, I need to prove something. I'm with these guys who are such elite players at the college level that, I was always, just trying to push myself that much more just to be, on that level. And I think that's what's helped me so much in this level.
Speaking as a guy who grew up in Oklahoma, who has been a lifelong OU fan, what does it mean to you to be one of the backbones of this team? You're redshirt sophomore, right? It's 3 years in. Did you expect to see this, and how is this going for you personally?
It's been awesome. It's been a blessing. Ever since I've been a little kid, I've always dreamed of playing OU football and, being a leader on the team. I'd look up, like when I was 5 years old, I'd look up at the stadium, see the video screen, everybody announcing names for starting and stuff, and I always dreamed about that. So seeing all that materialize has been awesome. It's just such a surreal feeling. And stepping in this leadership role, it's something that, as growing up, you kind of realize, hey, I'm kind of made to be a leader. I'm kind of a naturally born leader. So, and that's something I feel like I've really grown into, is being a natural leader. So I feel like it's been an easy transition.
Seeing guys like EJ come into the program, just following in, just from what you've seen so far, what do you like about EJ's game?
EJ, that's another guy, man. He came in this program and he's really strong. Watching him lift and stuff, it's very impressive. He's a guy who's very eager to learn. So, we watched film together and stuff so much. And he's one of those guys. He's got these goals, and he's going to do whatever he can to get to those goals.
Like you, all the kids that come through are highly regarded, highly recruited, but you all have a sort of a come to Jesus moment where you get to understand this is not high school anymore.
Yeah.
What was that moment for you?
Yeah, so whenever we were doing drills and stuff in the spring, like with team organized drills and stuff, we'd go out there and we'd run the offense, run through plays and stuff, and I didn't really know what I was doing, I didn't know the calls or anything. I was kind of like, this is a lot different in high school, and that's something that that moment really helped me out, because that just showed me how much I need to grow in that aspect of the game, mentally. So, those come to Jesus meetings happen, but they're also really important that they happen for your growth.
You were at this event this time last year. Your former organization was a very intimidating and intense. I'm ready to play right now.
Yeah.
that make no mistake, Big 12 title brings to and obviously with good reason he says that. Is it hard for this team to not to I mean, is that something that you guys have to train with because you've done it so much, or is that still absolutely the end all be all before you even think about playoffs or going back to the national championship?
Yeah, we take every game, extremely serious. So we play everything game by game. We're not really ever during the season. We're never really looking forward to we need to get to this bowl game or anything. We're always looking forward, how do we win this next game? And it gets to the conference game. How are we going to win this game? So that's it's not something that we don't really have problems with that. We're not going to try to take that stuff for granted, because we're always so hungry to go out there and win, and we're always so motivated just to prove anybody who has doubts against us wrong.